Hey guys, it's me Velik. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. The Midnight Pre-Patch event, the Twilight Ascension, is live running from January 27th to March 2nd. And we are being treated with 3 new pets. And these pets are Scruff, Emerald Sporbit and Rhay'Dahr. In this video, I will show you how you can collect these pets and discuss their stats and abilities. Each pet can be purchased for 30 Twilight's Blade insignias from Materialist Offinel in Twilight Highlands, which is where the Midnight Pre-Patch event takes place. And the Twilight's Blade insignias are the special pre-patch event currency, which thankfully is warbound. You get 2 to 3 insignias for a rare elite event, 10 per world quest and 40 per weekly quest. I really love any new pets and I'm so happy we're getting 3 this time, not just 1. But I think it's worth noting that all these pets are recolors of existing pets. They're all recolors of pets from the War Within, so I guess it's a nice way of closing the expansion with 3 recolors. Let's start with Scruff. Scruff is a brown spunky hyena style pup who rocks a pair of blue goggles like it's about to pilot a mech or brew potions in a lab. It's a recolor of the Undermine pets Mutt, Goggles, EP and Foreman. Scruff's description reads, "Gotta be tough with Scruff." Scruff is a beast pet, meaning he deals 25% extra damage below health. He takes 50% increased damage from mechanical abilities and 33% decreased damage from humanoid abilities. He comes in a health breed with 1725 health, 284 power and a lower speed of 236. His abilities are Bite, 100% hit chance, bites at the enemy dealing 301 beast damage. Bark, 100% hit chance, deals 225 beast damage and reduces the target's next attack by 25%, lasts 1 round. Bark is similar to Blazing Yip. Lick, 100% hit chance, deals 225 beast damage and reduces the target's speed by 25% for 4 rounds. Sniff Out, 3 round cooldown, 100% hit chance, deals 301 to 451 critter damage and removes any objects on the battlefield. Sniff Out is the critter counterpart of the magic type Cleanup. They are 2 of the 6 abilities that can purge the battlefield from objects like decoys, with the other 4 being Grave Destruction, Magma Wave, Tidal Wave and Sticky Surge. Retrieve, 4 round cooldown, 100% hit chance, deals 150 beast damage and forces the opponent's highest health pet to swap into battle. Retrieve is the beast type counterpart of the magic type Sweep. And Super Bark, 4 round cooldown, 100% hit chance, barked with incredible power, dealing 526 beast damage. This attack cannot reduce the opponent's health below 1. Super Bark is one of the only abilities that cannot reduce a target below 1 health, with the other one being the humanoid type Weakening Blow. Scruff shares an identical ability pool with Goggles and Foreman, its recolored models. Scruff offers strong beast damage and will be very strong against critter pets who take 50% increased damage from beast type abilities. You can choose between straightforward beast damage with Bite or some moderate beast damage and a damage reduction debuff with Bark. For PvP, keep in mind that Bark's damage reduction debuff can be countered by swapping out. With slot 2 you can deal moderate beast damage and a speed reduction debuff with Lick, or good critter damage and a battlefield cleanup with Sniff Out. The choice will depend on the team you're facing, as not all teams require a cleanup of the battlefield to get rid of decoys. Just don't use Sniff Out if you have a decoy up yourself, as it also removes your own. Speed manipulation can come in handy to give you that advantage of striking first the next turn. This allows you to land a follow-up attack safely, set up a teammate for a guaranteed kill or control effect, or force the opponent into swapping or using a less optimal ability. I think Lick can be handy for a speedy bunny team, as they rely heavily on their speed, so taking their advantage away will make sure you can DPS them down earlier with a follow-up beast damage, which hits 50% harder on critters. But again, for PvP, Lick's speed reduction debuff can be countered by swapping out pets. With slot 3 you can deal moderate beast damage and a force swap with Retrieve or a Beast Burst that can't reduce the opponent's health below 1. The choice will depend on the team you're facing, though force swaps are usually more profitable in higher speed teams in my opinion, which is why Retrieve pairs well with Lick. Super Bark seems more of a universal pick for strong burst damage, but keep in mind it can't reduce an opponent's health below 1, so it must be followed with another ability. A potential weakness is that he offers no weather control, so he can struggle heavily against, for example, a Call Lightning team paired with a multi-hit ability, for example. So to conclude, Scruff offers strong beast damage with varying utility options. He works best as a tempo control pet and pairs well with pets that can capitalize on force swaps or soften the targets. His use will be more situational, shining most in the right matchups. Let's move on to the Emerald Sporbit. It looks like a curious hovering spore-like cloud of shimmering spores with little protrusions sticking out, almost like viral spikes, and a golden glowing center. It's a recolor of the Violet Sporbit and the Hemospore. Its description reads, "This collection of spores exploded one too many times on its previous owner. Maybe you'll have better luck with it." It's a magic type pet, so it cannot be dealt more than 35% of their maximum health in one attack. It takes 50% increased damage from Dragonkin abilities and 33% decreased damage from aquatic abilities. It comes in a speed breed of 1562 health, 260 power, and 292 speed. Its abilities are Creeping Fungus, 100% hit chance. A Creeping Fungus infects a target, causing 98 undead damage each round for 4 rounds. Deals additional damage in Moonlight. Glowing Toxin, 100% hit chance, deals 6% of the target's maximum health as damage every round, lasts 4 rounds. Spiked Skin reduces up to 56 damage from each attack against you and deals 42 Dragonkin damage each time you take direct damage, lasts 5 rounds. Blinding Powder, 3 round cooldown, 100% hit chance, throws blinding powder into the target's eyes, reducing their hit chance by 100% for 1 round. Spore Shrooms, 2 round cooldown, 100% hit chance, places a mushroom near the enemy team, it grows for 2 rounds, then unleashes a cloud of spores. The spore cloud infects the front pets, dealing 140 elemental damage every round for 3 rounds. Explode, 100% hit chance, instantly kills the caster, dealing damage equal to 40% of the user's total health to the current enemy. Using Explode will prevent the caster from activating failsafe mechanisms. The Emerald Sporbit's ability pool is identical to the Violet Sporbit. It's a speed breed, however its speed of 292 seems a bit underwhelming compared to the Violet Sporbit's speed breed, which has 352 speed. Creeping Fungus is best paired when you have another pet in your team that can activate Moonlight Weather for additional damage. Abilities as such include Moon Tears, Moonfire, and Starfall. In any case, it will likely deal more base damage than Glowing Toxin. Glowing Toxin also does not benefit from damage increase buffs, for example Amplify Magic. So if you apply a 25% damage increase buff on your team, Glowing Toxin will not produce 7.5% damage on the target's health. It also does not have increased damage against aquatic pets, despite aquatic pets taking 50% increased damage from flying abilities. It's also not affected by the damage reduction debuff from Sandstorm Weather. Also, Glowing Toxin takes 5 times in total, which means 30% of the target's health, but it's very slow and it will be very ineffective against pets with a shield up, for example a Shell Shield. It could be useful when Sunlight Weather is active, however, which increases the total health of all pets. Blinding Powder can be used if you need to counter a strong opponent's move, though in general a guaranteed reduced hit chance works best with a more speedy breed. Alternatively, you can opt for Spiked Skin. Spiked Skin becomes even more effective when paired with a Lightning Storm effect, such as from Call Lightning. Lightning Storm also synergizes well with the dot heavy rotations by adding bonus damage to every hit. For slot 3 there is an option for a strong delayed dot persisting through pet swaps with Spore Shrooms, thereby stacking dots, or a powerful burst and a self-destruct with Explode. The decision will depend on the situation. One important thing to note about Explode is that it deals 40% of the pet's maximum health, so not the current health. So even if the Sporbit is at 1% health, it will still deal a significant amount of damage to the opponent. But in my opinion, Explodes works better with faster pets, so you're guaranteed to be able to use it, rather than being killed before being able to use it. This is why, in my opinion, the Violet Sporbit appears superior to the Emerald Sporbit. However, the Emerald Sporbit does have more health and power, so it also has that advantage for stronger dot ticks. To conclude, the Emerald Sporbit is a dot-heavy magic pet that offers multiple damage types. While its speed limits its effectiveness in PvP, especially when compared to the faster Violet Sporbit, it can still perform well in niche PvE scenarios where sustained damage, weather synergy, and guaranteed value matter more than turn order. And lastly, we have Rhay'Dahr. It's a young observer demon, one of those creepy floating demon eyeballs with way too many tentacles. It's a recolor of Looker Gaskret Jr., Penumbral Terror, Ixtal the Observeling, Impartial Watcher, and Dread Horrorling. Its description reads, ever watchful, never blinking. Rhay'Dahr is a magic pet, which means it cannot be dealt more than 35% of its maximum health in one attack. It takes 50% increased damage from Dragonkin abilities and 33% decreased damage from aquatic abilities. It comes also in a balance breed with 1400 health, 268 power and a bit higher speed of 301. Its abilities are Tongue Lash, 100% hit chance, licks the enemy 1 to 2 times, dealing 144 critter damage per hit, hits an additional time if the user attacks first. Tongue Lash is similar to Flank and Flurry, and they are the critter counterparts of the elemental types Lash, Fire Quills, and Spark, the magic type Arcane Barrage, the mechanical types Better and You 2-3-8 rounds, the humanoid type Blitz, the flying type Quills, and the beast types Rend and Trash. Then Focused Beams, 100% hit chance, blast the enemy with a beam of arcane power, dealing 216 magic damage. Damage increases by 72 each time it is used, maximum 360 magic damage. Focused Beams is a cumulative investment or ramp effect damage ability similar to Arcane Blast and Nether Blast, and they are the magic counterparts of the beast types Vicious Fang and Huge Fang, the aquatic type Pinch, the mechanical type Armblast Cannon, the critter type Trenchant Claws, and the undead type Empowering Strikes. Then Interrupting Gaze, 3-round cooldown, 100% hit chance, deals 216 magic damage, interrupts the opponent's round if the user goes first. Interrupting Gaze is the magic counterpart of the humanoid types Kick and Backflip, and the beast type Paralyzing Venom. There's also the magic type Counter Spell with 1 round less cooldown but slightly less damage, and the mechanical type Interrupting Jolt with 1 round more cooldown but more damage. Then Eye Blast, 4-round cooldown, 100% hit chance, deals 288 magic damage and reduces the target's speed by 25% for 4 rounds. Eye Blast is the magic counterpart of the elemental types Flash Freeze and Frost Shock, the beast types Hiss, Lick, Primal Cry, and Screech, and the elemental type Sandbolt, but with different cooldown durations and damage dealt. Then Agony, 100% hit chance, inflicts agony on the target, causing increasing undead damage each round for 2 rounds. And then Rot, 3-round cooldown, 100% hit chance, rots the target's flesh, dealing 360 undead damage and transforming them into undead for 5 rounds. Rot is the only ability that allows you to change an opponent's pet to another type. The only other ability that allows for a pet's type to change is Nature's Ward. This transforms the user though rather than the opponent. Rhay'Dahr shares an identical ability pool with his recolored siblings, Looker Gaskret Jr., Penumbral Terror, Ixtal the Observeling, Impartial Watcher, and Dread Horrorling. Tongue Lash is very interesting here. It will be very strong against undead pets who take 50% increased damage from critter abilities. And with Rot, you can transform the target into an undead pet and thus forcing it to take increased damage from Tongue Lash. If you're using Rot, keep in mind this does not mean that the targeted pet will also receive the undead's family passive modifier of coming back to life, immortal for 1 round when killed. It merely changes their weakness and resistances to that of the undead family. The targeted pet will still enjoy the benefits of its original pet family passive. It can be countered by your opponent by either cleansing the debuff, using Nature's Ward, which transforms the user into an elemental pet, or by swapping out pets. There is an RNG factor to the amount of times that Tongue Lash strikes though. To maximize its potential, the opponent's speed could be reduced with Eye Blast, so that Tongue Lash will strike an additional time, guaranteeing at least 2 strikes. Although Rhay'Dahr does have a somewhat higher base speed, so it might not be necessary. A limitation of the strategy is that it does take a few turns to set up. Tongue Lash can be less effective against flying types who gain 50% speed when above 50% health. In these cases, Focus Beams is preferable as flying pets take 50% increased damage from magic attacks anyways. and Focused Beams applies heavy magic damage once the cumulative damage has ramped up. You can also opt for a stun with Interrupting Gaze, however I would only pick this ability in a setting where you know you have a higher speed than the opponent, otherwise this ability becomes totally redundant. Rhay'Dahr does have a higher speed, so in many PvE and some PvP settings I think it could be useful. In PvP, however, a lot of more speedy pets are used. In the random PvP Battle Finder, Rhay'Dahr can still be more speedy than some of the OG PvP pets like Anomalous, Anubisat Idol, Living Sandling, or Moontouch Swampling. But in PvP tournaments, such as the Pet Masters League, a lot of more speedy pets are used. Agony is also an interesting option. Its total damage is divided into 3 hits, increasing incrementally, and can become surprisingly powerful. However, abilities as such tend to perform better on power breeds, as higher base power amplifies the ramping damage. They are also more effective when a damage taken debuff is applied, such as Wild Magic or a Lightning Storm from Call Lightning, which adds additional damage to each strike, or a Toxic Gas Weather from Toxic Fumes, which extends the dot with 1 round. Since Rhay'Dahr cannot apply these effects itself, it is best paired with the teammates that can, or when avoid using Agony during Cleansing Rain Weather, as the shortened duration significantly reduces its value. And also, reapplying Agony will reset the damage ramp, of course. To conclude, Rhay'Dahr offers a versatile blend of critter, magic and undead damage. He can be configured to transform opponents into undeads, and capitalize on this by dealing amplified critter damage, while also providing utility through stuns or speed reduction. With the right team support, he can alternatively be used to enable a powerful dot strategy. So I was looking on Warcraft pets for one of the recolors of Rhay'Dahr, the Penumbral Terror, and I read this interesting comment. It's from a user, Crickle Pets. This pet is great against Anomalous. It's faster, so you can interrupt the first turn, then turn it undead and lick it to death, with Anomalous only getting off 1 attack. So if that's true, then that's a really good counter for Anomalous. So I decided to test out the Rhay'Dahr versus Anomalous strategy, and I think it was worth it. However, to get Anomalous down in 3 turns, you need some luck with the amount of time Lick strikes. If Lick only strikes twice, then you'll need a 4th turn to get him down. But if the RNG is in your favor and you get 3 strikes with Lick, then you can indeed get Anomalous down in 3 turns, as the comment on Warcraft pets said. Unfortunately, this team composed of all the 3 pre-patch pets together is not an ideal combo, so I ended up losing this battle. I'm not sure about the use of these pets in PvP, however, I think a team of 3 times Rhay'Dahr could be interesting, but on the condition that Rhay'Dahr is the best pet always. And that was it for the 3 new Twilight Ascension Midnight Pre-Patch pets. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. May your pets be cute and your RNG be ever in your favor. See you next time. Bye guys!